Today we have so much to talk about with the cancellation of the inaugural cruise, what's coming next with the Sun Princess, some things that really stood out as I have read through your comments and gone through everything we went through to get our travel arrangements to do with this cruise canceled. So we've got a lot to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday. It is January 25th of 2024, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please hit that subscribe button? We are thrilled to have everyone here with us. We know you'll enjoy being part of our group. We talk about cruising and traveling to cruise and Princess an awful lot here. We do talk about the other cruise lines though as well, so we're glad to have you with us. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? It really helps us out as well. Well, like I told you in my video yesterday, and I think anyone that cruises on Princess has probably heard by now, the Sun Princess Inaugural that was set to set sail on February 8th, just 2 weeks from today, was canceled yesterday. And now that I've bounced back, I think yesterday I was in shock. I just couldn't believe it. I honestly thought that we were within the window of time that it wasn't going to be canceled. If it had been canceled further out, I would have thought, well, things didn't go according to schedule. We're going to have to reschedule. But to be canceled so close took me by surprise. So a few things that I think is important to talk about. First of all, I noticed that this cruise was canceled 2 weeks and 1 day before it was due to set sail. I would hope and I would expect that as the people at Princess that had to make that decision, I would think that as they were doing that, they would have hopefully looked and decided if they were going to have to cancel any additional cruises or just that one. So hopefully those of you who are fortunate enough to be booked on that February 18th cruise that's round trip from Rome for 10 days, hopefully you will be able to get to go on time and everyone else after you as well. Now, a few things though that I have thought about. What would be the drop dead date? If you're going to get canceled, like our cruise got canceled, what would that day be? Well, since ours was canceled 2 weeks and a day before, I would say February 3rd or 4th is probably, if we can make it that far without your cruise being canceled, hopefully we'll get to go. I really do like to think, though, that they've already made the decision and they're sure they can have everything ready to go. So you wonder, like, what's not done? I was wondering about some of the dining venues as they didn't show up to make reservations for in the app yet, but we will never know unless if any of you are well connected enough to know what's going on. Put it in the comments or send me an email and let us know what's going on. I really hope that everything else goes smoothly from here on out. Another comment I want to make is my heart really goes out to those of you who were scheduled to go on that cruise with us, and it has been hard for you to get vacation time. I know that a lot of people have to ask at work, sometimes like a year out to schedule time to be able to get their vacation time and do what they want. So my heart really goes out to those of you, as well as people that didn't have insurance to cover everything. And we are going to talk about insurance a little bit more. Like I told you yesterday, Princess is refunding everybody's money that they have paid for the cruise and giving that extra 50% future cruise credit so that you can use it on another cruise, as well as just $200 to go towards any thing that you have to cancel that you're not going to get your money back for. In the long run, $200 doesn't go very far when you think of hotel reservations and any booked, like if you had a car service booked or anything else booked that you can't cancel. And so we are going to talk about insurance a little more, like I said, but my heart really goes out to you. And so everybody keep sharing in the comments how what you think. None of us are happy about this. I'll just make that clear. But I can't be mad because as far as life events goes, everything is okay. Would I have liked to go on that cruise? Yes, it was a really big deal to Gordon and I, such a big deal to us. We were so excited to get to be on that inaugural cruise. We were going to get to see other vloggers there. Tony and Don were going to go. We were so excited to see them. We were excited to go to the Mediterranean. It's my favorite place in the whole wide world, other than home and visiting family. But it was a really big deal to us, so I am sad about it. In the long run, though, everything is okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the Fincantieri Shipyard that has made the news. One of our Let's Go family members just put a comment in and said Princess was lying. The delay was due to what's going on in the Fincantieri Shipyard. I believe the date it has happened was January 19th, but there was a worker there in the Fincantieri Shipyard in Italy, the same shipyard where the Sun Princess is being built, working on a Mein Schiff ship. Mein Schiff is a German cruise line, and apparently there was a scaffolding that was holding a shaft, as the news reports it, that fell, and so they were able to get the worker out, get him to the hospital. Says they are not life-threatening injuries. So I'm really glad to hear that. But in association with that, the workers' union there at the shipyard and the contractors said that they wanted a one-day strike to help everyone remember their safety policies and their safety procedures and everything, to try to keep everything running as smoothly as possible. So knowing that that happened at that shipyard, as unfortunate as it is, I don't think that is enough to delay a ship from being able to be on time and have to be delayed 10 days. Now, I know that they're not going to take a sailing and say, it wouldn't be normal to say, well, we're not going to go on the 8th, we're going to go on the 10th. But I really don't think that's it. I think that is, they announce a cruise ship to be delivered, a couple of years out. We all get excited and book the cruise, but it is really such a project with all these moving parts, and they do have project managers there, but as they went along, I would like to think that they would probably see that they're running a little bit behind, but they really thought that they could pull it off right until the moment they realized we can't get this done in time, and that's when we got to the point they had to cancel it. Really interesting, one of our people commented yesterday and said that they got yesterday an email from Princess saying, hey, it's not very many days to your sailing, book some more excursions, and like 2 hours later they got the cancellation. So some of those emails I know are automated and they just didn't catch it in time to not send it, but I really hope that the rest of the sailings go smoothly, that everyone who is supposed to board that ship on February 18th is able to go. If you look at that sailing February 18th as well as the one after it, they say sold out on the Princess website. If you look at their booking system and you want to book it, then you have to be on the wait list. And the way the wait list works is it's kind of like signing up for a cruise, but you're just on the wait list. You have to pay the deposit, and then you are notified by email if you are going to have the opportunity to join that cruise. What it requires to be on that wait list is someone has to cancel. And so if they pick it up and you get offered that, then the money that you paid for the deposit goes towards your cruise. And if you don't want to accept that waitlist position, or if your chance never comes up, then your deposit is returned to you. So that's an option for anyone that wants to try to get on those. I'm not quite sure what day we're going to go, but when we get to go, we'll let you know and we will take you with us. And it's going to be great when we finally get to go. So I wanted to let you know. Now, a couple of things have really been highlighted by a lot of the comments that I've received, from emails that I have received, and just reading a lot of posts on a lot of Facebook groups and seeing what's going on there. So two things really have surfaced to the top. Yesterday, I mentioned Princess Easy Air, so I want to talk to you for just a minute more about that. I have talked about Princess Easy Air here a lot, and Gordon and I, about our first 13 cruises with Princess, we took Princess Easy Air every time, never had a glitch, saved a lot of money doing it, very convenient, worked great. But then on our Mediterranean cruise in 2022, it just killed us. And so we have not done Princess Easy Air since then. And so a few things that I want you to keep in mind. First of all, booking with Princess Easy Air is very convenient. And the reason that it is great with a situation like we just had with this cancellation of that inaugural with the Sun Princess is when Princess cancels your cruise, your flights are also canceled and you get that money back. You don't even have to worry about it. You didn't lose it on the flights. You don't have to ask anybody else for it back. Nothing. You get your money back, and that is really a luxury, I think. It's really easy to manage that way. But be aware, I saw someone's comment saying, hey, we still wanted to go on our trip. We had our flights with Easy Air. Princess is canceling them. We were trying to call and see if we could keep those flights. I don't think you can, because the cruise lines contract with the airlines. I don't know if you know this, but Carnival Corporation is actually the largest contractor of flights in the whole world. They own several cruise lines, and that's what they do. But in order to get those rates, part of it is you have to be going on a cruise. When you're a travel agent, you can book flights with consolidators, and sometimes that will save money. The interesting thing is, though, is you are bringing up the rates for the airline flights. There's a box you can check, and one of it is that you're going to be on a cruise, and that helps get you lower rates. Okay, and did you know that if you travel with one of those airline tickets, rarely do they ask to see proof that you are going to go on a cruise, but they can ask for that at the as you check in for the flights or at the gate, and so you have to be prepared to show your proof that you are going to go on a cruise. And so the fact that you're no longer going to go on a cruise and you want to use those flights, I don't think you can do it. I think that would be going against their contract. If anybody here knows more about that than me, please do put it in the comments. Okay, but just wanted to bring that up. Another really important thing to think about with the Princess Easy Air flights, the way they do theirs is a little bit different than Norwegian's. Norwegian, you don't get any input about which airline you're going to go on, which flight you're going to choose, none of it. They just assign them. And if you don't like something about it, you call the airline. Once they assign those are your flights. You call and you take care of it from there. If you want to pay more for a different seat, or if you want to change flights, you pay for it and do it, but you deal with the airlines. With Princess, you have up until 45 days before you sail, before you fly as well, to change if you buy the flexible fare, you can cancel your flights, you can change your flights, whatever it is that you want to do. If you buy the restricted air ticket with Princess, you pay for it when you book that flight, and then you are done. If you cancel your cruise, you don't get your money back for your flight. If Princess cancels your cruise, you don't get your money back for your flight. And so to me, I'm really a risk-averse person. I don't think that's a good option, but just to make you aware, you can do that, and they do cost less that way. So anyway, if you book your flights with Princess and then the airline changes your flights, then if you're outside of that 45-day window, you can go back in or call your travel agent, get different flights, and you're okay. But if you are within that 45-day window and the airline changes your flights and you don't like them, that's just too bad. If you call the airline, they're going to tell you to call Princess. If you call Princess, they're going to say those are your flights. The airline changed them. I'm sorry about that. So that is one of the reasons that I don't like to do it. Long story. If you want to see that, we have a video about what happened to us in the Mediterranean. And so really think about how you want your flights handled, just what works for you. There's not a right and a wrong. It's just what works for you. With our flights for this cruise that just got canceled, we had booked ours with Delta, and so we canceled them last night, and now we have that money sitting as a credit in our Delta account. Now, if you're someone that doesn't travel much, you're not going to like that, because then your money's going to be sitting there. We chose that option because we fly often. We even have family. We have to fly to sea, so I know I'm going to use that up. And so just kind of make sure that as you book your flights, however you choose to do it, you make sure that you've got coverage. Also, make sure that you've got some kind of coverage for your flights, whether you buy insurance. If you buy them through an airline, you can buy insurance to cover them, or you can buy a travel insurance policy that will cover your flights, and so that if you have to cancel them, you're not out that much money. Okay, just pay attention. Now we're going to segue with that to the insurance. And then we've got an itinerary cancellation at the end of this video I want to tell you about as well. So let's talk insurance. Insurance is always a hot topic. I know that insurance is an added expense to a vacation, and a lot of times we look at how much the hotels are going to cost, the airplane's going to cost, the cruise is going to cost, and we think, I don't want to pay any more money. But I am someone that always goes with insurance. I think I did it even before it has that thing to do with being risk averse, but be aware that when you buy your insurance through the cruise line, it insures your cruise and you on the cruise. Unless you book your flights through the cruise line, and even then sometimes it's a little iffy about it. The circumstances are going to determine whether or not you get your money back for your flights. And so just be aware of what it covers, and also think of other insurance. You can buy annual policies, you can buy just trip policies. So just make sure that you read what is covered in the insurance that you choose, and that you choose something that covers you with limits that make you comfortable. Another thing I'm going to throw out there is GeoBlue. I just learned about GeoBlue not that long ago. I mentioned it here before. I think it's that great. It is just medical insurance, but it has a really high limit and includes a high limit of emergency medical transportation. It has so much coverage for a very affordable rate for an annual policy that I think it's really worth it. It will cover you really if something unexpected happens and it's really expensive. Okay, so just think about the limits that you need for your insurance. I felt really bad. Someone commented that they lost their money for their hotel, their flights, their deposit for their dog sitter. So make sure you get a policy that covers all of these things. And I know that hindsight is always better than foresight. That's why we talk about things here. It's always easier to look back, is what that means, and see what we could have done better. So moving forward, this really helps us all even be more well prepared. The final thing that I want to let you know is Norwegian has made an itinerary change. The Norwegian Getaway is actually going to start her Caribbean season earlier. The first time I received notice of that was this morning, so I don't know if anybody knows about it any sooner than that. But on the Getaway sailings that are going from September 29th of 2024 through November 27th of 2024, those sailings are all canceled. So you don't have to call Norwegian or do anything. They will automatically refund your money back. In addition to that, they're going to give you a 10% discount off of another Norwegian cruise. You just have to sail by December 31st of 2024. Okay, and that discount will be linked to your latitudes number. And so just a heads up about that. They said they're going to begin their Caribbean season a little bit earlier. Whenever I see things like that, I'm always wondering like what those bookings are looking like. Sounds like they probably are not selling as many as they had hoped, so they're going to move her over to somewhere that they think that they can sell more. So it's just really interesting when you think about all that. But I do like that people have time clear from January of the year clear back to the right there at the end of that third quarter to make any changes that they need to make with their vacation time or flights, anything like that. So let me know if you've got any questions. I would really love to hear from all of you in the comments. Sharing our experiences and things that we have learned along the way really helps all of us. And also let me know where you're standing with that February 8th. Several of you commented yesterday you're not going, and thank you for your love and your kindness in thinking of Gordon and I not getting to go on that cruise. We're so excited, but it's okay. It's okay. And we're going to talk about it, though, tomorrow night in our live. Yesterday was a crazy day. We'll tell to you about everything. It was a really funny day. When I called Gordon at work, I think he thought that as I started off, maybe someone had died. But anyway, we'll share all that with you tomorrow night. Come to our live. We're going to do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will be seeing you there tomorrow night. And I'll see you here again tomorrow. And I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.